All right, there's some breaking news coming in right now. This is about the Delhi hit and drag horror probe. There's an update. New CCTV footage has emerged of the victim's friend on a Scooty. Now, initial questioning of the family and friends has suggested that she was accompanied by a friend who apparently fled the spot after the accident. And what we're getting is information about how the police are going to be recording a statement. Remember, we had earlier broken some information about how the woman was accompanied by a friend on the Scooty who reportedly fled the spot when the accident took place. Now, what we do know is that the police are going to be questioning the friend, and what we have as an update is that new CCTV footage, which we're showing you on your screens right now, has emerged of the victim's friend on a Scooty. We will be trying to connect with a reporter to get you more details and an analysis of what's taking place in this CCTV footage. But over the last day or two, there's been a lot of CCTV footage that has shown the incident. This is the latest. Previous CCTV visuals have showed visuals of the body under the car. This visual is essentially showing a friend that was on the back of the Scooty. Now, that's it from me. Up next, you have my colleague Toya Singh to take you forward with the biggest stories of the day. So stay tuned.
All right, Aisha, thank you. We're going to stay very much with this story. This is a story we broke to you, remember, on the early hours of Sunday morning. I'm going to remind you of the bare details of the story. Then we're going to focus on this new aspect that we are breaking for you right now. Remember, this is an accident that took place on New Year's morning. A woman was returning in the early hours of New Year's morning. She was returning on a scooter when her scooter was hit by a car. The car had a number of individuals inside it. They were all men. After the accident took place, the quote-unquote accident, though we aren't still sure of the details, what we do know is that her body was dragged for a distance of 10 to 12 kilometers and captured on multiple CCTV cameras and on multiple people. Now, my colleague Anshul is with us right now. Let's go over to him to get more details on the aspect we are breaking to you right now. Remember, as we've told you earlier, there had been reports that there had possibly been another person who'd been with this girl. Now we have confirmation. Let's go over to my colleague Anshul to get more details. Anshul, over to you.
So yes, the CCTV visuals that we have managed to access, the CCTV visuals actually show that there was another girl with her right before the accident is what we can confirm to you. It is still to be clarified by the Delhi police that if that girl was present at that very moment when the accident took place, because it is being reported, that she was present while the accident took place, but that needs to be confirmed from the police, and that is something that the police has not confirmed as of now. But yes, this is a very new spectrum that has now opened up in this case, because another girl, a friend of the victim, was also with her. It is being said that they attended a party right after she came out from the event, and after that they were heading towards the residences, and it is also being said that the victim was the person who dropped her home initially, and while she was returning from her residence to her own residence, the accident took place. So yes, these are details that we are bringing to our viewers as of now. At this point in time, a new speaking visual has come, and it has definitely opened a new spectrum to this entire case. What we are also expecting is that the Delhi police will record the statement of this girl as well as early as today, and we could expect some more details about the entire incident to come out.
All right, Anshul, a question just to clarify from you. Police do not yet have a motive for why the girl who was accompanying the victim may possibly have fled, right?
The police has not confirmed this at this point in time, but yes, there are a few media houses that have been reporting this, but yes, we are still waiting for an official confirmation from the police. But yes, the CCTV visuals that have come to the fore definitely tell a new story that there was this girl who was accompanied by the victim, and what I can confirm to our viewers is that she was the person who was dropped by the victim to her residence, and after that the victim herself went home, and in that duration, okay, this accident took place. Is what we can confirm at this point in time.
Oh, all right. So it's accurate to say then that when you're confirming that she was possibly dropped home, the person on the bike was dropped home, then alternate reports that were suggesting that the second person on the bike might possibly have fled. Those are possibly incorrect then, right? Because she was obviously, according to the version of events you're presenting to us, dropped home. Then this girl, Anjali, was on her way back home when the accident took place. Is that accurate?
Well, definitely. But yes, more clarity would come once the Delhi police comes out and confirms this actual story. But yes, sources within the Delhi police have been telling this story to CNN News 18. But yes, once the official version comes out, we'll be more clear as to how does the Delhi police see this entire development. Because yes, this is definitely a big development that has come, and the statements of this girl is going to be also very crucial because it is going to actually establish the fact that if this attack or if this incident was actually planned, or this entire incident or this entire episode happened by accident. So yes, this is another very crucial thing that is going to be questioned.
Anshul, stay with us for a second, please. I'm going to go over to our colleague Anvit. I'll come back to you with more questions. But first I want to go over to Anvit to understand. Anvit, a post-mortem took place yesterday. We know that the family and then the NCW both have demanded that a post-mortem take place. We know that till yesterday, the family was saying that there was a possibility of sexual assault, that they didn't appreciate that the police was not investigating, according to them. Now, could you bring us more details about that report and when we could possibly expect it? Could you also tell us about how the Delhi police has decided to handle this since the media and political furor yesterday?
See, media and political furor has certainly risen this case, and it has snowballed into a controversy now, and that is why, sensitive case it has become. Then following that, stringent actions were slapped against the persons who have been arrested. In fact, culpable homicide not amounting to murder was also added in this case, whereas mostly we see that such accidents only amount for 304A, which is causing death due to negligence and rash and negligent driving. But police have taken strict action, and all these men have been arrested. They are now in 3 days of police custody, and over the days they will be questioned to establish the sequence of incidents and to know how they have been claiming since the beginning that it was undeliberate and that they did not come to know that there is a body underneath the car that is clinging onto the car, and they dragged it for at least 12 to 13 kilometers. That is one theory that the police is not being able to digest, and that is why these men have been taken on a police remand for 3 days, and they will be questioned on these lines. Another important development that has taken place is that another woman has been identified. On Monday, police zeroed down on this woman who had left the hotel where these women had attended a gathering. Both these women had left together. We do not know as of now whether this Anjali dropped the other woman at her house and then was headed to her home when the accident took place, or whether the accident took place and then she fled the spot, seeing that Anjali has been injured. This somehow doesn't seem to be right in the sequence, because in that case the girl might have rushed to the families and must have reported the incident to the police or to the family members, which police are saying did not happen. So that is one thing. This girl, her statement is expected to be recorded today. Formal statement will be recorded today. Other than that, postmortem has been completed, and it is expected that the body of Anjali will be handed over to the family members today for her last rites. Postmortem is crucial because the nature of injuries will suggest whether this woman was, since the family and NCW, like you mentioned, had been alleging that there was more to this just than an accident. So a postmortem will clear one thing, first of all, whether there was any sexual assault or not, as the family had been claiming, a larger conspiracy. Secondly, the nature of injuries will suggest whether the woman died only after the accident itself, or did she die after being dragged, because that will change the kind of trial these men will face. If she was alive and she was dragged to death, that will make it a brutal murder, and then in court certainly it will affect the trial. But if she had already died and it comes out in the probe that these men did not know or were not aware that her body is clinging onto the vehicle underneath, and then they dragged her up to 12 to 13 kilometers, and it was in panic or desperation that they fear being caught by the police, and they left the body, abandoned it, and then left the spot. That will see a different kind of a trial. So trial would certainly be affected by what kind of injury she has, which will also imply as to whether this was a brutal murder or it was an accident that led to such a tragedy.
Okay, Anvit, thank you for those details. Stay with us. I want to go back to